Sometimes an artwork begins long before the first line touches the canvas. Sometimes it begins in a place you didn't ask to go. A moment of discomfort, a moment of dissatisfaction, a moment where something inside you says, "This isn't the truth." This is where Pure was born. A triptych, 300 centimeters by 160 centimeters. A work that stretches across space like a bridge you are waiting too long to release. For me, Pure is a return to honesty. Not the honesty we offer others, but the one we owe to ourselves. The facade we learn to wear. We all learn very early to put on a facade something polished, something safe, something that feels acceptable. Over time it grows heavier. We play rules. We say we are fine. We try to match the expectations of people who barely know our inner world. And yet, the true strength we search for never exists inside the mask. It exists in vulnerability, in the courage to say, "This is me," without the performance. Pure is about that moment, the moment when the facade cracks and inside of falling apart, you finally breathe. Transforming dissatisfaction into harmony. This artwork did not begin in peace, it began in frustration. In a moment when human behavior felt disappointing, when masks felt louder than truth. And I felt myself pushed into emotional noise I didn't want to carry. But art is the place where emotion transforms. It is not the escape, it's the alchemy, where dissatisfaction can shift into understanding and understanding into harmony. With every ultra-fine flowing line I drew, and there are hundreds of them, I felt a kind of emotional cleaning, a clearing, a returning. Pure became a place where I could put down what was heavy and pick up what was real. Why I believe art is a living emotion, I often said art is a living emotion, not an object, not a product, not a decoration, but something alive, a carrier of energy, memory and truth. Every artwork holds a pulse, its own intentional rhythm, a kind of quiet heartbeat that keeps speaking to you long after the paint is dry. For me, Pure is a living reminder that growth doesn't come from hiding. It comes from revealing, from being fully seen, first by yourself and then by the world. Why this work matters to me now? I'm almost 60 now, a late beginning in the art world, but lifelong beginning inside myself. I started painting at 11. I learned movement before I learned words. And after that decades of creating, I now understand something deeply. Growth is not loud, healing is not dramatic, and truth is not theatrical. It's quiet, it's steady, and it's pure. Pure represents that stage in life where you no longer chase approval. You choose honesty, you choose clarity, and you choose your own peace. If you are watching this, I hope your work speaks to you in its own way. Maybe you recognize the facade you have worn. Maybe you feel the calm of the sea inside of the colors. Maybe you sense the movement of emotions you never put into words. Art doesn't tell us who to be. It simply shows us where we are. Pure is my reminder, and perhaps yours, that the real beauty of life begins in the moment we stop performing and start being real. Because truth, even when fragile, is always stronger than the mask. Thank you for being here. If you wish to explore more of my work, you can always visit carolinevist.com. Art is not something we look at. Art is something we feel, something alive, a living emotion.